Well, salutations, denizens of the internet. I'm Firebyte27, and, well, there's no one watching, which is no surprise since this was really a bit of a last minute stream, but hey, I'm going to be here today talking about the Transformers 1 blockies. Because. Oh, right. That's the wrong setup. Because there we go. Because I managed to find some TF1 blockies at Walmart today. And so I'm going to build them, as I normally do. The only exception has been the Ultraman blockies that I got last week. I'm not sure if you saw my shorts, but basically what happened was I was planning on doing a live stream build video like I normally do for blockies. But the seller that I bought my bloggies from on AliExpress, whatever it's called, they did not send me my blocky. They did not send me one of my blockies, and instead it sent me a little statue of Crane Shin-chan. I don't know what he is, but he said he looks like the Japanese version of Caillou. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, it's time to start building these blockies. I will admit I am a little bit nervous about building these because when Doc sent me Blockies Nemesis Prime, it felt... I'm not sure if you've seen my Kamen Rider Blockies video, but what I really liked about the Kamen Rider Blockies is how they felt. And the blocky model kit that Nemesis Prime that Doc sent me felt very much like a traditional model kit and not in a good way. And ooh, I think oh god, I like what Chase variants has come back again. Yep. First figure that I open out of the set, and what do I find? It is the Chase variant Optimus Prime. No. Why? I didn't want this. Anyways, time to start building it. We'll start with the head, because who doesn't like a little head? Not the kind of joke I'd normally make, but whatever. Let's see here. There we go. The only difference he has as a Chase variant is that his paint is shinier. I think that's the only real difference between this and the standard release. Anyways, Ella King gets to go over in the corner. Either way. And ba-bam! That's the head. Oh, no, it's not the head because I'm forgetting his faceplate. Oh, I love how I am, even at my best, I am barely functioning chaos incarnate. Come on, get. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but look, it's the faceplate is stuck inside of his shin piece. Let's take these. There we go. Clippers got him out. Now I can finish building the head. Oh god. That didn't sound right. Then again, in general, I found that doing an accent that isn't your native accent can be a slippery slope, at least politically speaking. There is a fine line that, no, not a fine line, an ill-defined line between what counts as playful impersonation and racism, and I'm just gonna say that that's all I really need to say is that it's a slippery slope. And oh, hello there, Alex. It's wonderful for you to show up here today. I am currently building Transformers blockies for the first time. And you'd never believe it, but the first figure I pulled today is the frickin' Chase variant of Optimus Prime, which surprises me a little because, well, if you haven't seen it before, you can go back and watch the other streams. The Stormbringer Optimus? And nope, I do not. Not sure which one that is. And I am. I think wasn't Stormbringer one of the comics from like IDW, like the original IDW run. Now before they had the reboot after the fight with Unicron, and everyone said everything went downhill. I think that's right, but then again, I do have ADHD and my memory is abysmal. I think that's like I think Stormbringer is like his Optimus Prime's pre-Earth IDW form. Again, correct me if I am wrong, which I am almost certainly am. There we go. That's his leg done. Get it done, get it done. Do your dance, get it done, get it. Let me hear you say. That song's great. Yes. The IDW one with orange eyes. No, I do not have that one. This is their first wave of Transformers 1 blockies. That was, I want to say that was before they did Stormbringer, or at least the Stormbringer design. Anyways, just need to, right, that's the wrong leg. Talk about getting off on the wrong foot. Heyo! Okay. Oh, early Furman years with the yes, infiltration era. You'll have to forgive me if I don't understand a lot of that. I am not very cultured in the IDW comics. At least not. I mean, well, technically, not technically. I'm not cultured in either era. There's also Autobot Megs from Matumti. Okay, now that's a design that I'm quite fond of, and well, I kind of wish that they had given it Earthspark Megatron Autobot sigils so I could like pretend that that's the Matumti design. Since I do know that in that comic, Optimus Prime, Megatron becomes a hero, or at least decides that he needs to seek. I don't know if this is exactly right, but he needs to seek out some sort of thingy from the Cybertronians' ancient, distant, long lost past self stuff or whatever, in order to seek a judgment for his actions in the war. And that just leads to him becoming an Autobot, and then Tarn happens and a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. Like I said, very uncultured in IDW. Mm-hmm. And luckily, I do have my clippers on hand with me, so I can clip out his little fingers. I will. Alex, to answer your question, I do know about scans, but I'd honestly prefer to get trade paperback since, well, I prefer physical media over digital media. It's kind of a crapshoot whether or not digital media will be around, thanks to greedy companies, but I will at least consider it. Anyways, that's Optimus finished. All done and dusted, as they say. And I gotta say that, despite my concerns, these joints actually feel really good. Like normal, like the regular blockies that like the Kamen Rider blockies good. Anyways, let's move on to box number 2. see who we've got this time. We've got some gray / dark blue hands. That tells me absolutely nothing about who's in here. Okay. Ooh! Ooh! Yeah, here's one that I was actually looking forward to. One of the Death Troopers, I believe. Something. Let me just check the box here real quick. Yeah, Death Tracker, not Trooper. Death Tracker. And this is one that I was actually really looking forward to. Oh, I didn't realize this. They come with the little hockey pucks. Oh, that's pretty cute. How am I today? Honestly, how am I today indeed? That's a bit of a long question. I'm okay for the most part, but I've had this on and off headache all day because I won't go too into detail on it, but basically I have to start paying rent next month, and so as a part of that, trying to get some long-term purchases in now, and one of those things I want to do so I can have it for some content on streams is buying and then playing Pizza Tower. So I bought Pizza Tower today, but I didn't realize you can't launch it on Mac. So I've basically been having this on and off discussion with a much more technologically inclined friend of mine named Zach to see what exactly the hell I should do in order to get Pizza Tower running on my Mac. Which he basically came to me and said, okay, you need to find something that'll help you, basically like a something, it was some, I don't know what it was. Basically it'll run in Windows for me so I can play Pizza Tower on it. But it's got its it's proving to be a whole headache because for some reason I first needed to install Homebrew. I got that installed. Now I need to install something called Wine Keg and to use that in order to play Pizza Tower after I've downloaded it, I guess. I don't know how that'll work. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know why it'll work. I don't know when it'll work. I don't know where it'll work, but hopefully it works. Ha ha ha. Very funny, Firewall. Though, in actuality, that's probably funnier than I am in most conversations. There we go. Legs down. But I've basically been having this conversation with a dude who's still in high school about how exactly I'm supposed to fix this and get it working, and he only barely understands this stuff more than I do. Which, I mean, does make for some unintentional comedy, but at the same time, it's I'm freaking out, and then he kind of freaks out, and it's difficult. Although, alternatively, I would have also accepted a joke about Mac versus PC. That old thing. Remember when Mac versus PC was a meme? I do. Those were the good old days of the internet, back before we decided collectively as a society that it was the appropriate place to be horrifically verbally abusive to everyone in the world, and where we could get away with just being the worst people whatsoever, the worst people we could. Let me see here real quick. Need to check the instructions. The console wars? I wasn't alive for the console wars, but I do. But thanks to YouTubers such as Josh Wallen of the Geek Critique, I do have some idea of what it was like to live back then and how influential those things were. Because I love Sonic CD, It's my favorite classic Sonic game, but I wasn't alive when it was originally made. So I don't exactly know how to connect to people who played it back in the day and enjoyed it back in those days before the internet was a thing, or like before we had the vastly superior God, what was it? Headcanon? The Christian Whitehead ports. Like before we had the Christian Whitehead ports of Sonic CD, it's impossible for me to understand exactly how inaccessible that game was before I was born, because like by the time I actually had an interest in playing the classic Sonic games, I um it was super easy to play them. So except for Sonic CD, but whatever. I mean, no, not Sonic CD, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's what happens when you hire Michael Jackson to play them, when you hire somebody famous to make music for your video game. Which, fun fact if you didn't know, Michael Jackson, as controversial as he was actually a part of Sonic's development. He was a lot of the tracks that are in Sonic 3 and Knuckles were actually composed with aid from Michael, which is great. I mean, they're all great tracks, and at the same time, it gives a certain degree of frustration to the fact that, well, we can't use that music anymore because people want to collect royalties on Michael's music, even though he's dead. It's my biggest fear as a creative, like looking at the future of creating and like how exclusionary things are becoming, like how expensive things are becoming. More importantly, I guess. There we go. There's the head for Steve. Ooh, 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 ooh. Is it okay to still call him Steve, or is that something that like will mark me as fodder for the anti-Prime crowd? Because like, I make no mistake, I'm not I'm not super big on Transformers Prime, but like at the same time, like, and never mind. Dang it! Where did that arm go? There we go. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. The whole Sonic Michael Jackson thing is definitely a scenario where I have to separate the art from the artist, but at the same time, it's like I'm really good at separating the art from the artist. Like, well, when it's something that when it's something that I like. When it comes to something that I don't like, it's honestly a bit harder because like it's, especially when it comes to like stuff that doesn't contain any of the, especially when it's something that doesn't contain like any of the, like if it's got no relation to the exact reason why people, why, if it's got no connections to the controversy whatsoever, then like I'd say that's a good situation where the art should be separated from the artist. Well, if it's like a scenario where, like, say, behind the scenes, like specifically with Dan Schneider and his Nickelodeon shows, it's not a case where the art should be separated from the artist, because, like, there was Dan Schneider allegedly caused a lot of suffering behind the scenes on shows like iCarly and, you know, hello there, Master Far. We're having a bit of a bit of a heavy discussion right now, but glad to see you here. Where's the death tracker's other joint? Oh, there it is. There we go. There's the death tracker, all finished. Now then for the third and final character in this set. Let's see here. Who do we have for this final box? Oh. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait, no, it's not Orion Pax. For a second there, I thought it would be Orion Pax, but no, it's actually Ironhide. Ah, thank goodness. For a second there, I thought I'd have to end up giving this to a friend of mine who I'm trying to get into Blokees. It's like, I don't want to have an Orion Pax in his untransforming state on top of the Chase variant Optimus Prime. Which again, this is way better than the A-level Optimus Prime they released last year. It actually looks metallic, as opposed to gross. I really didn't like that deluxe Optimus Prime. Got any of the Chase figures? Yes, I do. This is the Chase variant Optimus Prime, and when it comes to the other series of blockies that I've been building for this channel, Kamen Rider, I have 3 out of all the Chase variants. No, wait, 4 of them. I have the hatless Kamen Rider Skull. I have Kamen Rider Saber, Cross Saber. I have Kamen Rider Geats, Boost Fever. And I have a Kamen Rider Fi's Blaster. Though that doesn't exactly mean much. Well, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I have actually stepped out of the Transformers bubble relatively recently again, with my Kamen Rider Blockies video. I'm not sure if YouTube showed it to you, but it was a video that was a long time coming, and quite frankly, it was a lot of fun to make. And honestly, I'm not opposed to stepping out of the Transformers bubble a bit more often these days. However, that's not to say that Transformers won't be the majority focus of this channel, because, like, I enjoy Transformers a lot, and I want to talk about what I like. That said, if I'm unable to make this channel profitable, the videos might stop permanently. And I don't want to lose this channel. I don't want to lose you guys, because streams like this where I get to talk to you people and just be myself are a lot of fun. And having a job that I enjoy and having a job that I enjoy is just super important to me. Though not as important as like actually being able to eat. So forgive me for being a bit of a shill at times and wanting money, but that's just the nature of it. There we go. Eh. I was kind of hoping I'd get Megatron and Sentinel Prime in this video, just so I could end with like a shot of I could do a second channel, but at the same time it's like I really don't want to do a second channel, if that makes any sense. Because the thing about he brought up in his second comment, wait, in your comment, it would risk muddying the identity of either channel. It wouldn't run the risk of muddying either channel, but at the same time, it's like I'm just doing what I enjoy doing, and I feel like that's the important part. It's just a matter of like I just want to like keep. I don't know. I think introducing like a second channel for extra stuff would be it's hard to describe. It'd feel look, if I'm going to put it this way. I'd have to go through the entire process of building up an audience again on that second channel, because even though like the other even though the other channel like even though like I've already got this channel and I've got a following from it, whatever I decide to dedicate that second channel to might not be there might not be a lot of crossover between people who are interested in what I talk about mainly on this channel and what I talk about on that second channel. Because like I really have floated the idea of like creating a Common Writer themed channel like separate to all this. And The reason I haven't gone through with it is because of that exact reason. I'd rather risk not having any views on a video on this channel and having my channel remain relevant in the algorithm for another week than I would putting in the work to build up an entirely separate channel that I'd end up only posting to every so often and wouldn't like have a chance in the YouTube algorithm. Because like as much as I say that I enjoy doing this, I which I really do, I genuinely enjoy doing live streams like this and talking to people on this channel, like answering questions from the chat and whatnot. The unfortunate truth is that you gotta eat. And if you're doing something just for fun, then you're definitely not going to be eating from it. Heck, even the jobs that you think you'll enjoy, like stand-up comedian, those require a lot of work. Like, if you haven't seen Randy Feldface's Purple Privilege comedies video, I highly suggest watching at least the introductory sketch from it. His Broadway tour in New York, because like he opens up by saying that he's doing this that a Broadway tour of New York should be the pinnacle of his career, but the end result isn't as ooh, we've got a fellow Feltface fan here, have we? Well, I'm glad that you're here with us right now because that means I can tell you that I put a Randy Feltface reference into my TMNT video from last year. It was a lot of fun to make that video, and that's the big thing too about these sort of like non-Transformers related videos is that they're a lot of fun to make because I'm breaking out of my comfort zone. Especially that customs video I did a while back. That eating is not for the weak. Eating is for the people who actually want to survive and don't mind and actually mind the fact that their bodies might turn into dust if they don't get the proper hydration and nutrients they need. That said, ramen is a good workaround for saving money. The ramen itself might not be healthy, but it gives you a chance. It's basically like pairs universally with anything. So you can basically get whatever you want and put it in the soup, and a lot of the stuff that you can put in makes it healthy and helps compensate for the lack of nutrients in the noodles themselves. Like I'm quite fond of putting in eggs myself, even though in this economy that's going to be quite expensive. But yeah, mixing in like a raw egg when you're pouring in the boiling hot water, that pardon me, pardon my belch there, people. But if you mix in an egg there, it actually adds to the savory profile. At least from what I found, it actually adds a lot to the savory profile of ramen. Well, that's quite a trick. Although, I'd get it exercised in case there's any like dead factory workers attached to it. You know what really annoys me about these rifles? They're only 3mm compatible, it looks like. And I'd really like to give this rifle to my Orion Pax. Who knows? Maybe I'll do like an adapter that maybe I'll like design a 3D printable adapter that allows 3mm ports to go into 5mm holes, but it's a little disappointing since I really, 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 really want. Okay, the ramen pulled pork sounds okay, but the rest of it, especially apple pie, like ramen is a savory dish first and foremost. And apple pie does not sound as though it would pair well with savory ramen. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to establish a new rule in this chat. Please do not give Firebite financial advice if you're going to if it's going to be this absurd. Besides, it's my money. I'll do with it as I please. You won't legally force me to spend it on your noodle model kit. Oh, well, what do you know? You can kind of wield the axe accessory. Too bad I can't go in his like gun in the gun barrel. That would be hilarious. But yeah, this small kit looks amazing. Bro, prioritize your health, and I'm not talking just about your physical health. From the sounds of it, you might also want to prioritize your mental health too. So, anyone else got any questions or funny jokes they want to share with me? 'Cause if not, I'm out of model kits to build now, so. Any toys, any of the figures Jada Toys made? I can't remember. Let me just search that up real quick. No, not really. Most of what I'm seeing here from Jada Toys is just these like model cars and model cars are all right, but that's not what I look for when I buy toys. What I look for is value for money, and more importantly, like joints, how articulated a figure is, and I buy figures both to have like fun with, but also because like they make excellent fidgets for my ADHD. And well, the Java toys don't really do that for me, so not really. Plus, even though they're doing Street Fighter at the moment, I'm really not into Street Fighter. I mean, yeah, it was an important game for like it was important for the like entire fighting game scene, but it's just not for me, and that's all right. Anyways, that's all the questions you guys have. I'm probably gonna sign out now since I'm a lot of things to do on camera for your amusement. So with that being said, this is Firebite 27 over and out.